Hey, my friend, Brett Hudson here, coming to you live from beautiful South Florida. And today I want to talk about one of the mentors that I follow on a daily basis. And his name is Napoleon Hill, right? And I have a really good friend that was, I was telling her that I'm a practitioner of Napoleon Hill and I study him. And lo and behold, she didn't know who Napoleon Hill was. So, I'm thinking, man, I wonder how many more people out there don't know who he is or what his book Think and Grow Rich is all about. So I thought I would just drop a quick video and share my mindset group that I participate in. So one, I'm Brett Hudson, and if you want to participate in our Think and Grow Rich mindset group Monday through Friday 9 a.m. Drop a comment below. I'll send you a link, and or you can visit my blog abundancewithbrett.com. That's abundancewithbrett.com. And, we study Napoleon Hill Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. To 10 a.m. And for the first half an hour, we're basically reading from his books, right? Laws of Success, Think and Grow Rich, and we study him. And in the last 30 minutes, we actually talk about what we read, and a lot of the leadership on that call actually come out and share some great values. So yes, I would love for you to plug in. Drop a comment below if you're watching this video live. Let me know you're live. If it's a replay, just type in replay. And again, abundancewithbrett.com to get a hold of that mastermind group that I'm part of. But the thing I really wanted to talk about was Napoleon Hill, right? Like a lot of people don't even know how he came up with the name for his book, right? And it's a funny story actually, but it's a true story. So when Napoleon Hill completed his book, I think this is back 1929 early, and he knew the publisher wanted him to come up with a winning title, right? A winning title, something that would be compelling, right? A compelling title that would make you want to read the book for sure. And that would basically send the copies flying off the shelves, right? Imagine that, people pulling out credit card in hand to buy his book, and right. And so every day he would, he wrote out a title that would come to his mind, right, every day, and he would call his publisher, and his publisher would hear, Napoleon Hill's latest idea of a title for a book, and none of the titles really resonated with his publisher, and so I think it was like more than 500. I apologize, my video's coming loose. I think it was like 500 titles or something like that Napoleon had listed, and it wasn't until one day when his publisher basically gave him. It kind of reminds me of the story of my dad, right? I was on the 6-year plan in college, and I remember my dad saying to me, "You better figure it out, son. I'm done," right? So I had to figure it out real quick, and otherwise I would have been on a 10-year plan. So back to the story. So one day his publisher, calls him to say that he needs the title, right? He needs the title the following day, or the book is going to be. He said something like his book's going to be called Use Your Noodle and Get the Boodle. Right? And so Napoleon Hill's like, nobody's going to call my book that. So, and he's basically telling his publisher, you'll ruin me, if you use that title of my book. So kind of like my dad, right? So I had to figure it out, right? I had to make a decision. So Napoleon Hill is telling him that, his publisher is telling him that, he needs to hear back from the next day, and he better have a good, compelling title for the book. Otherwise, it's going to be called the title earlier, right? So, so Napoleon Hill wants to come up with the perfect title, right? It's got to be perfect, but to me, there's only been one perfect one, right? Nobody can be perfect. So it's progress, not perfection. So anyways, that night, Napoleon Hill, he's feeling anxious, and he probably like most of us couldn't sleep that night because he wanted the perfect title, right? That was going to compel people to buy the books. And more importantly, he needed to come up with it in a hurry. So his demand started with a quiet, like really with quiet, right? And so sometimes you don't, it's better to ponder something sometimes than to come up with a quick answer, right? Sometimes you want to pray for wisdom. And matter of fact, Dr. Charles Stanley, one of my favorite preachers, said yesterday, there is nothing more important than prayer. So anyways, back to the story. So, so he directed his subconscious mind, right, at his, he basically programmed his subconscious mind, right? So he paced his bathroom floor, and he wanted, what he wanted to do, and what we learn on Napoleon Hill is, if you can attach an emotion, right, to a thought, it becomes more powerful, right? Especially in the subconscious mind. And so, because you can bring the object back of it, right, if you focus on it. And so he started yelling at his subconscious mind and to cough up the perfect title, right? He's like, we've gone this far together. Now you gotta come up with a perfect title. Now he's telling his subconscious this, right? He's pacing and you gotta think about this. He's pacing, and we study, and part of Napoleon Hill is we study the self-confidence formula, right? So if you've never heard of the self-confidence formula, you might want to Google it or plug into our call. But back to the story. So he's pacing back and forth, and he's like, you've done a lot of things for me. He's telling his subconscious mind, and some of these you've done a lot of things for me, but I've got to have $1 million titles, Mr. Mind, subconscious mind. Right? This is what he's telling himself. So it's just hilarious. Not hilarious. It's just so how powerful the subconscious mind is. So he's telling his mind, I've got to have $1 million title. I've got to have it tonight. Do you understand me? Right? So he's ranting to his subconscious mind. And it grew to such a noise in his head, right? Upstairs. He calls it, his neighborhood, right? And it started banging the broom handle. You could hear the broom handle banging up there. And so again, so Napoleon Hill's telling his subconscious mind this while he's ranting and raving, pacing the bathroom floor. Kind of like when my dad told me I got to figure it out. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I need to figure this out. So I've learned a lot of skill sets, and I've got a friend that wants to start a business from Australia, and lo and behold, we put this amazing company together out of college. But again, back to my story, right? So he gets his mind all in a tizzy, and shortly thereafter, Napoleon Hill, he wears himself out by doing this, and he goes to bed, and he's haven't been so satisfied that he's fed his subconscious mind enough emotion, right? Enough emotion into his demand that his subconscious mind basically went to work for him. Just like our subconscious mind goes to work for us when we're not even thinking about it, right? So if I told you, don't think about that pink elephant. Don't think about that pink elephant. Don't think about it. I guarantee you just thought about a pink elephant, right? That's how powerful our subconscious mind is. We can be having this conversation, and you can think of other things, right? So anyways, back to the story. So around 2:00 in the morning, he's in a deep sleep, and around 2:00 in the morning, he wakes up. It's like a bolt, right? It just wakes him up right out. He jumps out of bed, and he writes down this title that came to his subconscious mind from this ranting and raving he did earlier in the evening, and now, right on time, right when it's supposed to be delivered, right? His timing is the perfect timing, right? God's timing, perfect timing, right? So anyways, Napoleon Hill jumps out of bed quickly. He phones his publisher, and his publisher is like, "What are you? It's 2 a.m. Are you out of your mind?" Right? And he's yelling at Napoleon Hill for waking him up out of a sleep. And the publisher says in a sleeping voice, "You've got some nerve, buddy. You got some nerve calling me in the middle of the night." And Napoleon Hill, in all his excitement, he goes, I've got it, Mr. Publisher." And so Napoleon Hill enthusiastically shouts, "It's gonna be Think and Grow Rich." Yes. So folks, that's the $1 million title that Napoleon Hill, and that's how Think and Grow Rich came about, right? In desperation, he used the formula that we learn, right? And he programmed his subconscious mind. He programmed it, and he spoke to it and he prayed for the wisdom, and boom, not like magic, like a formula that works, right? And so the publisher loved the new title, and they released his new book. And you know, believe it or not, Think and Grow Rich is #2 selling book behind the Holy Bible. Yeah, I said it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the story. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.